want to thank Mr. Davison and Mr. Michelli for putting the real issue here. It's not about beach access. This is about eat the rich. That's what it's about. You can't buy a house, I don't think, Mr. Michelli, in Watch Hill for $3 million. Good luck. I mean, they're 20, 30 million, okay? And on that road, Lighthouse Road, they're billionaires, and there's more than one. The guy who owns a branch in Texas bigger than the state of Rhode Island. There's a lot of money. You're going to have to fight them, and the town's resources. I don't think the people in Westerly want to fight these fights. Now, to the two gentlemen who talked about compromising, there was a time to compromise. But when you did this ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous resolution that isn't worth the paper it's written on, filled with inaccuracies that Bill Aiello says he wrote, but anybody who read this knows that he couldn't write this. This is written by a lawyer. And for you people who want access to Winnapaug Pond, why don't you talk to the guy who has a private road that produces these? He has a private road. I represented him. They said it was a public road. Other people said he's a public road, but you don't refer that to the CRMC because he does legal work for you, the town council. All right, so if you want a road on the Winnapaug Pond, why don't you ask the guy who wrote this? It's not Mr. Aiello. He couldn't write this. This is a lawyer who's doing the legal work for the town. I can tell you if I'm sued in my official capacity as a town councilor, we'll get the information and discovery because there'll be cross complaints. Now, my father took me to the lighthouse back in the 60s and 70s. I fished there. We also went down to the beach. You can get to the rocks without going to the lighthouse. Everybody knows that. All right, so this isn't a beach access issue. Plus, I was down at East Beach last week. It was a beautiful day. It was like a freeway. I had to leave the beach. There are so many trucks on the beach. They're way above the high tide mark, 10 feet above. They're parked all the way up there. So this isn't about beach access. The time to compromise and to talk to them was before this. They're not going to talk to you now. What you're doing, the town's doing, is interfering with a contract that the United States government has with the Lightkeepers Association. Okay, now I'm going to read something. Now the other thing is the Harbor Management Commission came in here and threatened and said that we had to get rid of the solicitor, or otherwise they're going to resign. Now I checked the minutes before that. There's nothing in the minutes, nothing on the agenda that said anything about firing the solicitor. You didn't discuss that. Joy Cordio was all over that thing. There's nothing in your minutes. You violated the Open Meetings Act when you just got together later and decided you're going to threaten to resign if we didn't fire the solicitor. So why don't you obey the laws? And also, I have another problem with the Harbor Management Commission. Everybody up here was saying, oh, it's such a diverse organization. But you're not diverse. There's only one guy who really belongs on there. That's Jarvis. This is who the members should include: recreational and commercial fishermen. That's Jarvis. I don't know who else is on the Harbor Mission. Marine operators. Any marine operators? No. Riparian property owners? No. Recreational boaters? Maybe. Commercial waterfront businesses? No. In addition, consideration given to representatives from other interest groups such as conservation? None. Shellfish, historic organizations. And since these agencies frequently regulate activities that affect harbor usage, and municipalities which share a common boundary intersecting a water body, there also may be ex officio representation. It's not done according, I'm reading, this is chapter 86, section 11, Harbor Commission in the Code of Ordinances. We're not following that. Okay? So I have a problem with that. The other thing is, when you start talking about eminent domain, like Bill Overton did with the Watch Hill Fort Road, okay, that's going to cost millions. Yes. Okay, Mr. Davison, I know. I read Das Kapital. I read the Communist Manifesto. They make some good points. But until you get rid of the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution, you got to follow the law. Okay? There you go. There's your example. That's why we have a problem. Now, last week, 2 weeks ago, we had a meeting. The big talk from Joy Cordio was that we're going to get the property. You all talked about it. We want the property. I mean, some of you have sobered up. The property is a done deal. What they're doing now is negotiating the terms of the deed. There's never been a deed on that property. Okay? You could have all had a seat at the table, but you chose not to. You made a mistake. The town council made a mistake. It's all gung-ho thinking they can get the property. You would never have gotten the property. The county would have come up, the town would have needed to come up with $20 million. Now, John Gagne got up here and said, well, we can get the grants. You can't get a grant. They don't want to have anything like that. They want you to have the money. Okay? They've got $20 million. I don't think the people in Westerly want to spend $20 million to fix up the lighthouse. You all do, because it's not your money. But you negotiate first. Now you've lost your handle. I'm going to read to you. I attended this teleconference with members of the National Park Service. And it was embarrassing. I was embarrassed to be on the town council. So after the meeting was over, Joy Cordio wrote, as promised, regarding teleconference with MPS today, a waste of time today. And this past Monday, that was the Monday you were all here, talking about getting the property. A waste of time. She wasted your time. The matter has been turned over to GSA. It seems the manager forgot to tell the council. No, he didn't. Don't blame the manager. This is Joy Cordio. I will be in touch with the solicitor regarding the potential next steps.
Can you hold off just a second, Counselor? Mr. Solicitor. Part of our rules is that we don't read emails from other members or anyone from the public for that matter. But if he wants to summarize, because none of us have that document in front of us.
You all got a copy of it, but I'm going to read the one I wrote in response, because I think the people, you need to know, because you're getting up here saying things that just aren't.
Counselor, I'm asking the solicitor for his opinion. Mr. Solicitor, we don't go around reading emails. And I'm not saying if people want to access it through an APRA request, fine, but we have not presented any of those documents. Our rules say that we don't read emails from people.
Could you cite the rule? Cite the rule, Mr. Aiello. Cite the rule.
Stand by, Counselor. Stand by.
Cite the rule. You're not going to.
There's no need to cite the rule right now. So, Mr. Solicitor, is reading the emails from anyone appropriate at this point during Counselor's response to the public citizens?
It should be relevant to the council's response. It should be addressing the topic that was addressed by one of the speakers. If it's an email in response to that, but other than that, we have not done that. You're right, we haven't.
Okay. So if you'd like to have some comments without reading
I'm going to read
the emails.
I can read my own email, can I?
Do you have comments that you'd like to make in regards to what?
Yeah,
the
I
public
think that
has
these
said?
people need to know this. The town of Westerly needs to know, because you get up here and you say, we want to get the lighthouse. You can't do it. Now, let me read it. I attended it. Present was a Turkia Lowe. She's the National Park Service Chief Historian and Deputy Federal Preservation Officer. Joseph Wanders, General Attorney for the Office of Solicitor, Department of Interior. Alexandria Picavet, National Park Service Legislative Specialist. Town Manager Lacey Town Solicitor Conley and Joy Cordio were there. Ms. Lowe unequivocally stated that the town's resolution is not actionable. That's bureaucrat talk for it's not worth the paper it's written on. So why are you antagonizing people? And then saying, well, they should come to the table. Who's going to come to the table after they've been threatened? Ms. Lowe unequivocally stated that the town's, furthermore, she confirmed that the research performed by the United States government found that Lighthouse Road is a private road. That's the US government. Now, it's not, if you want to fight that, go ahead. But you're going to cost the town of Westerly hundreds of thousands of dollars. Okay? The lighthouse has no control over that road. And you're making it worse. You should have come early on as town council and negotiated it. But you don't. You sit here and you fight and you make statements that aren't true. And she also said that the US government has no easement over that road. So I don't know where you're getting the facts. I don't think the Providence Journal is a place to get facts. She also stated that the National Park Service had chosen the Watch Hill Lighthouse Keepers Association to receive the deed to the lighthouse property, and the decision was final. The only thing left to do is put the restrictions in the deed. That's where you could have had Harbor Management Commission a say had you chosen a different path, but you didn't. You decided to become adversarial. Shame on you. Now, Joy Cordio asked Mr. Vonders or Ms. Lowe, could she contact GSA? The general counsel for the National Park Services told her, don't get your hopes up. That's what he said. So I agree with this should have been compromised. I think the Lighthouse Keepers Association would have liked to compromise with you. But do it. Now it's too late. And I can tell you the Lighthouse Road, you all think, when I was a kid, I don't know, 10 years old, there was always a sign there that said private road. Maybe it wasn't, but for Mr. Weber to say it was recently done, that's just not true. There was always a painted sign there, private road. And to say you don't have access, there's other ways to get access. But I think you should have been working with the Lighthouse because they want to give you access. They have no intention not to give you access, but they have no control over Lighthouse Road. That's not going to be in the deed. The deed is for the property and the property only. And you think about it, what the National Lighthouse Preservation Act is really concerned with is preserving the lighthouse. That's it, in perpetuity. They've given these lighthouses away in islands. They're just islands. So they really don't care. I think there was a question with the National Park Service. Can the Lighthouse Keepers Association open it one day and just hang out flyers? And she said, yes, that wouldn't bother us. So I hear you, I hear what you're all saying, but you've been fed a bill of goods. And that's the problem. You don't have the information. That's why Bill Aiello doesn't want me to tell you the truth. That's why he's stopping me from reading these things. He doesn't want you to know the truth. They can talk all they want about public access. It's going to cost the town hundreds of thousands of dollars. And the town should be negotiating with the Watch Hill Fire District over Fort Road. You could have a voice in that. And they should have done the lighthouse. The lighthouse too late. And all the other ones, negotiate. Who would trust the town of Westerly You signed a consent, this town signed a consent agreement back in 93, 94, 95. And maybe they didn't violate it, but they violated the spirit of it. Nobody's gonna trust the town of Westerly. You can't trust the Watch Hill Housekeepers Association. When have they ever kept you off of there? No, all right, so let's talk about it. So last Monday,
Point of order,
State your point of order.
excessive amount of time by the gentleman speaking right now.
This is with the, I concur. And it's not a discussion. And it sounds like it's starting to go into other avenues that weren't really addressed. It is the council's prerogative to establish a time limit for counselors
well, where's your time limit, Bill? Where is it?
if we do it,
You don't have one.
if we do it. So are
You
you?
don't
are you-
have one. You're
are you-
just trying to shut down information because
No,
you're
this
the
isn't.
one
Counselor,
who introduced
counselor.
the,
No, this isn't a court, counselor. The
no,
rubber
no,
meets the
no, you
foul,
cannot
there's a
say that you
quorum.
have limits when you have no limits, Bill. You can't
Mr.
make up the rules. as you
Counselor
go along.
Lombardo,
Right,
not making
I
up the
want to
rules.
answer,
maybe you should read them a little bit more.
well, you cite the rule that you're using, Bill.
Don't need to cite it. If you want to
Yeah,
challenge
because
it,
it's
you're welcome
not
to.
true. If
You're
you're gonna
done.
say there's a rule, cite the rule, Bill.
What is the council's desire? Someone make a motion if you so
Right, see,
desire.
they don't want to hear the truth. That's your problem, ladies and
Are
gentlemen.
you
You're
finished?
getting billed a bill of goods. Good luck. You've screwed yourself on this. I'll stop. But anyway, two fishermen were arrested Monday morning at the lighthouse for fighting. Okay? They go down there, they get into a fight. The Westerly Police Department has to go down there, arrest them. The Westerly ambulance, who have no money, have to go pick these guys up and take them to the hospital. So don't tell me this was 8:30 in the morning. They were down there and they were fishing. So I don't know what you're talking about. I'll stop because Bill Aiello doesn't want the truth to come out, so we'll stop.
Councilor Shalaba.